Hello everyone and welcome to Interstellar Marines, the pre-alpha. It is currently up on Steam. Developed currently by 0 Point Software, a very small up-and-coming indie development firm. They have recently updated the game to Game Update 9, changing quite a few settings and introducing a brand spanking new spectator mode. So we're going to take a look at spectator mode and see what it means for us. It is actually a pretty nice engine. It's Unity. I know a lot of people are miffed by Unity, but it's still a very beautiful engine, and there is a lot of capability if a good developer gets their hands on it. First off, we can see the teams here. This is a very small game that's located on one of 0 Point Software servers right now. This is just known as Team Domination, where the teams compete currently to try to dominate a zone by staying in it. As they stay in it, they decrease the tickets of the enemy team. Kills also decrease the enemy team's tickets by 5. You also gain training points whenever you score a kill. There are achievements on Steam for gaining enough training points and advancing a rank. Currently, there's a few other game things that are coming in soon. Bullseye and the Running Man are supposed to be on the way, probably in Update 10 or 11. All the people with little stars next to the name up there are not developers. They are, in fact, Spearhead members. You can see there's quite a few people that have paid the extra bang for the buck, including myself. So from what we can see here, let's take a look at the camera modes here. I've got a cycle camera where I can look around the map, and unfortunately being dark, I can't see too much. Very nice lightning effects there to give you a glimpse of being able to see. The Marines can also turn on their laser sights and their flashlights, but those kind of give them away, so people are very spotty on actually using them. What's really cool about this whole system is that, well, first off, the maps all have multiple modes in which they engage. Currently we're in pitch black, so people are talking, you see in chat, cut the lights. So people are telling others to turn on their flashlights off because they don't want to get shot. This camera here is inside the dropship. Looks pretty cool.
Next domination zone.
And as we can see, the mode is shifting yet again. It's raining currently. Sunrise is coming out. So I'm on camera mode cycle. I'm going to go ahead and change that off to be on a hold mode so I can adjust the cameras myself. I can do so by left and right mouse buttons, so I can switch between them. The new updated SMG sounds in this game are very nice as well. I gotta say, I look forward to hearing some of the more interesting weapons that they have planned as they come out. Their game development is just turning, it's taking a nice turn. It's turning for the best. And I think when they actually get more content in this game, it's really going to take off. Now, this does have multiplayer as the primary game mode right now, but this is setting the stage for any future updates in which they introduce additional game modes, and also the main meat of the game, which is a co-op campaign that's supposed to be as real as possible. So, taking a look at other spectator modes here, we also have free camera, which I can fly around the map myself. You can hold down your sprint key and increase your speed from 5 to 10. You can also change your height with left and right mouse buttons, so I can get above the action and look down on the domination zone here. And we can see some of the firefight going on down below. It gives you a nice bird's eye view of what's actually going on here. So we can get down into the meat of the battle if we really want to. Or we can have a nice bird's eye view to see what exactly is going on with the domination zone. We can see right now that Death Heavy over there is actually sneaking in here, and I think they see him. He stopped short, but I think maybe not. They may not have seen him. He's nice and hidden in the brush there. I'm surprised he's not shot yet. Somebody's going to notice this sooner or later. Oh! He's letting off rounds. Oh, and there it is. Dragon Slayer puts him down. So, every domination shift changes the arc lighting up above. This is, in fact, a training facility in which they are firing taser rounds at one another. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of a landslide game. It looks like red is trouncing blue. So, I'm going to get on with it real quick here and jump into a different mode yet again. Now I can do follow camera, which I can actually adjust the following. So, by using my mouse wheel, I can scroll in and out of anyone I want, and I can choose who I want to follow by left and right click. Ooh, that guy got broadsided. So if I want to go really far out from the person, I can go about, I think 8 meters is the max. I do have full camera control, so I can swing around wherever I want to go. The only thing bad about this is I do have a horizontal limitation. I can't go down any further, so I can't see the sky. I can look straight down on the player if I want, but I can only go about as low as head level on him. So I guess they don't want me looking up for some reason, because I would have some collision issues with the ground, I would imagine. Now, from what I can also see here, we do have the ability to go pretty damn far in close. We can go 0.5 meters, so pretty much looking over his shoulder. The character models, they just recently updated the animations, and the actual model itself is a very nice looking model. I think they can do a lot with that in the future. I'm hoping more animations are soon to follow. The new reload animation is not fully completed yet, but it does look quite beautiful. You can even see him adjusting on the fly with the magazine. So, can't wait to see what they do with it. Can't wait to see more weapons in the game and more gunplay. The game does currently have a stamina system in place it's kind of hidden right now. It's going to be more prevalent when the game's actually released. But one of the things you'll notice is that there are 3 different modes that your character can be in. If he's been, relaxed for a while, he's cool. So he can actually aim pretty effectively, be right on, balls accurate, nailing things downrange. With burst fire, of course, because there isn't a good amount of recoil on these SMGs. And the SMG is going to be toned down on range capability once other weapons are introduced. Bad idea to turn on your flashlight there, buddy. You're going to get shot now. So, the second mode is you're actually warm. So, when you're running around just a little bit, jogging from place to place, moving around actively occasionally, you will, in fact, get yourself a little bit, out of breath. You'll see it in your helmet a little bit, and you'll also be a little bit more off target when you're shooting. Now, of course, the third mode is when you've been sprinting for a while, you actually get hot, as they call it. So, at that point, your accuracy is greatly reduced. Hip fire, especially, is very bad. Alright, new map here, evacuation. Teams are organizing themselves. Actually, I think this is elevation map. You can see with the different modes on this map actually change the height of the actual combat. I believe this was a player design map, and it's turned out rather nice. The different modes start out, this was the emergency mode right here, so lighting is kind of, you have hit and miss lighting basically. If you look at the players themselves, and let's get our camera out here so we can get into the action a little bit. See, it's kind of hard to see these guys wearing the black camo. They can kind of blend in pretty well, but the lights do get them, and they will be lit up. There's also a lot of ambient noise, so it's hard to tell what exactly is going on. And that guy just got shot in the back because he couldn't hear the footsteps of people tromping above him. So these guys right here are in the domination zone. One more thing I do want to show off real quick here is when I go into the follow cam on Dragon Slayer here, if I hit left control again, I can go first person on him. So right now I'm looking to see what he can see. Now, of course, there are some things missing here that I have noticed, but these are, I'm sure, to be fixed. I can't tell who's on whose team when I'm looking through his eyes. He sees his teammates, and typically when you're in the game, like these are his teammates, they'll usually have like a blue glow to them, designating them as friendlies. You can even see that when your helmet is up and your heads-up displays knocked out, either by the helmet being up or by taking 50% damage. And guys who don't have that heads-up display on them or don't have any light on them or an icon, you can tell they're enemy and you'll just pretty much open fire. Now, of course, if you're hit or when you get hit at 50%, your suit actually shuts off. At that point, you have to identify visually if they're an enemy or not. Like I said, friendlies are going to have blue markers, enemies will have none.
Next domination.
And I have been team killed by people being confused by that, or, not, well, a little too jumpy sometimes. Now, the other thing here is that I can't see when he actually aims down the sight. This guy may be aiming down the sight like a boss, and I don't know that. All I can see is the default view. So, whether or not he's aiming well, I don't know. I can see when they turn on the flashlight, I can see when they turn on the laser, and the laser is fairly accurate as to where it's hitting from this point of view. And we are getting a good look through his eyes. However, we are not getting the full effect of what he is doing as a player. I'm not sure if there's mechanics involved that are just simply denying that, or maybe that's coming in a future update. But for right now, the spectator mode does not permit us to see aiming down the sight, which I would love to see that. I like to see good players aim. Of course, usually you get some latency in games like that, but, you know, you work with what you're given. As far as this goes, though, with Game Update 9, I gotta say that the new sounds are great, the new animations are great. Interstellar Marines come along nicely. It does have quite a while to go before it's actually complete. I've heard that they're working on their first co-op stuff will be in supposedly at the end of this year, and I think that might entail some of the stuff with the Running Man. And I do know next year, we're talking 2015, is going to be the time in which they actually implement their first campaign and start getting into the meat of the game. The game also has iconic land sharks that's going to be taking on, well, they're going to be genetic experiments you run into, and they're going to be causing problems for your Marines. As well, they're going to be having first contact with an alien race, and the devs plan to release quite a bit of future content for free, being a pre-alpha and pre-release game. You get the best price now. So if you decide that this game looks interesting and, you know, has enough multiplayer and future promise for you, it is available on Steam. There are other ways to purchase it as well. You can purchase the standard edition, which gets you just the regular version of the game, or you can purchase the Spearhead edition, which gives you a Spearhead edition copy and one standard copy to give away to a friend. Plus, it gives you all the additional downloadable content and their soundtrack score. And let me tell you, the score is actually very well done. Their composer did a very nice job. So, like I said, when I first got this game, I really wasn't too impressed by it. It was still early on. The more they've had development time, the better the updates have been coming out. Their team has expanded recently. They've got a lot more guys working on the project. It's coming along nicely. And as we can see here, this spectator mode, this wasn't in before Game Update 9. You had no way to spectate at all. And now I can view the fight however I want to, with a few issues here and there. And I don't know if that's something that's going to be worked out in the future or not. But let's see a little bit of the game here. I'm just going to go ahead and drop back into a mobile view here. And we'll get ourselves a nice bird's eye view of what's actually going on with the domination. So you can see right here, it's a fairly large zone. It's a little bit of cover inside of it. I kind of wish I had night vision or something to be able to see, but I like the effect. I like the fact that I do have icons for all the players, and I do like the fact that I can see flashlights, and I can see muzzle flashes, that sort of thing. So I can see where the firefight is taking place. Another mechanic that's really nice about Interstellar Marines is the fact that they have implemented jump in the game. Yes, jump. What a big deal. I know. It's in every single game. Woohoo. Well, what is important? What is important about jump in Interstellar Marines is it does not function like it usually does in most other games. Look at those platforms shifting. So, in Interstellar Marines, jump is actually accomplished by holding on the space bar, which is your default jump key, for about 1.5 seconds before you release it. Then you'll get your full planned jump. If you start smashing it like crazy, trying to be bunny hopping, well, you're going to be doing little skip jumps off the ground and not really getting anywhere. After all, if we look at these guys, they are carrying a friggin' backpack on their back, so it's kind of heavy, they're kind of heavy, they're weighted down with armor as well, and whatever their suit entails to be able to survive in multiple types of environments. So, jumping is something that we don't want to see, well, the devs don't want to see as bunny hopping or, you know, a way to escape fire. They want you to plan your jumps and use them as an actual jump mechanic, rather than getting some cheesy jumping in the game that is completely unrealistic. And realism is something that this dev team seems to be focusing on. Now that I've chatted your ear off, I will say also that crouch is coming into the game, supposedly in the next update or two, and that'll really change how these fights turn out a little bit more. I'm not sure if leaning is going to be in there. These guys are fans of Rainbow Six series, so it is possible that they plan to put leaning in. Prone has been discussed, and they have not made a definite decision as of yet if prone is going to be into the game. So, ooh, nice shot right there through that. The little gaps in the armor there. Just nailed him. Terminal life coming up from behind. They're not seeing it. He's got a nice flanking move on these guys, and I don't think they know he's there quite yet. He's being somewhat aggressive towards the domination zone, but he's losing his flank doing it.
Next domination zone.
Oh. And he went down below to, I guess, get in the next domination zone as the map shifts. Oh, and he gets taken out. So we can see right now that Skipper's doing quite well. He actually, hilariously enough, was telling me earlier that he was still struggling to learn the game a little bit. But he seems to be kicking quite a bit of ass this time around. And it looks like Blue Team has almost closed in on the win here. They're still dominating the zone. And we see Gambit tickets dropping like crazy. Both teams unwilling to completely commit here. Blue's still holding Dom zone. They can't get in there. Nebulous trying to move in. Takes out E3. Reloads. Starts moving in slowly. Blade's still, laying suppressive fire on him, but can't seem to take him out. Too much armor in the way. Can't get through. Blade is just unwilling to give up this area. And they cannot seem to get him. They've taken the domination zone, but oh! Crossfire. Tether takes him out. Well, it's in the bag for Blue Team. Now, the players shift quite frequently. It wasn't unfair teams the whole time. As you can see, people join and people leave very quickly. I am in spectator mode, so I do not count towards either team. And as you can see, once again, the number of Spearhead players versus the number of regular players. And these may be free copies they've received, but the game engine runs very nicely. It's very impressive what they've been able to do with it so far. And it does load very quick. I do have it set on maximum graphics. They don't recommend that, but I mean, you can see the transition is pretty much flawless going into the next map here. And we'll have a mainline winner coming up. So I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to probably try to shoutcast a map, and I'll try to tie that in real quick, and then we'll go ahead and proceed from there. So I'm going to start it after this video ends.